Your thoughts, your feelings, and your behaviors are all your personality. They create your personal reality. All three of those are changeable, which means since you can change your personality, you can also change your personal reality. Let me do some storytelling to put this into perspective. All right. My life has drastically changed. The reason being is because I have changed my personality, which has changed my personal reality. I've changed the way that I think, I've changed the way that I feel, and I changed what it is that I do. Another thing that I've also done, which I would consider to be like the underbelly of it all, or the foundation, is I've done a fuck ton of work on myself to heal, right? And the reality of the matter is that if you are disconnected from whatever it is that fucked you up in childhood, you're going to be missing out on a far majority of who it is you are, why it is you are the way that you are, right? And so I would argue that if you want to change your life, understand what it is that molded you into who you are. You can do that through meditation. And not only that, but also through meditation, become more aware of your thoughts, your emotions, and your behaviors, right? Essentially, getting a view, a perspective of yourself and your life from like a bird's eye view, right? Kind of start to get this like third person, this third party perspective. Kind of imagine that like a camera is following you around and you're becoming aware of yourself. What you'll probably find if you get really good at this, and I would also encourage and urge anybody to do this in an exceedingly good professional setting. Um, because the more aware you can become of yourself, the more control you'll have over changing your life and transforming your reality, right? But the reality of it is, excuse me, let me grab some coffee. The reality of it is that you can change your life drastically, profoundly, and you can become a completely new and different person. To put things into perspective, around a decade ago, I started making decisions that I was uncomfortable with, but I knew that if I hadn't done them, I would have just stayed the same. These were all from letting go of friends to forming new habits, right? I started to see the way that my friends were, and I guess I'll call them friends back then because I was at a different level, a different area of conscious awareness, self awareness, right? The Chris that existed back then, around a decade ago, believed that he deserved everything that was in his life, even the things that would equate to somebody with a low self esteem attracting, right? Reality mirrored that for me because I was being that person through my thoughts, my feelings, and my actions, right? So, what I chose to do, I wouldn't really consider this that risky because when you can see that somebody's behavior is unhealthy and you know that they're not going to change, you know that that's just the way that they are, the best thing that you can do for yourself is to get the fuck out, period, right? Secondly, I started forming habits that were exceedingly beneficial for my life. Meditation on a daily, like all of this stuff was on a daily, whether once or twice a day. Um, but meditation, journaling, yoga, exercising, learning more about myself. The most important thing that we can understand about changing one's life is that like 90% of our lives is just autopilot. And that's the fascinating thing too, because 90%, hold on, I'm trying to make sure I say this correctly. 90% of all transformation is awareness based, right? If you become aware that your self-worth has been extrinsic for your entire life, and then you're like, oh, wow, change, right? And then you take, action accordingly, and you don't continue to externalize your sense of self-worth, and you realize that you can actually bring that into yourself. It's all the same thing. It's all the same thing. But this is the truth and the reality of um, personal transformation, right? If you become conscious of that unconscious program, and by the way, I'm going to say that the unconscious program is the repetition compulsion. I believe that this is Freudian psychology. Repetition compulsion is something that everyone does. It's basically that we are compulsively repeating patterns that are unconscious and subconscious from childhood. Everyone's doing it, and some people um, have exceedingly dysfunctional repetition compulsion, right? That is very unhealthy. It leads them into deeply unhealthy relationships, and it just pretty much fucks up their life. But through meditation and journaling and all that stuff, becoming aware of the automatic program is essential. Because if you don't know why you're doing what it is that you're doing, you're not going to be able to really change anything, right? Um, I do believe in consciously creating a new personality uh, that is separate from all of the trauma that a person has experienced, which is the important thing to understand. That, and this is what Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about, right? Your personality creates your personal reality, and transforming that is the essential piece here. Your thoughts, your feelings, and your behaviors. All three of those, I've talked about this in other videos before, all three of those are changeable. All three of those are changeable. The most important thing that I would argue that any person can have a very deep understanding of is the underbelly, the foundation, which is the childhood trauma. There's an entire universe inside of you that can be seen, can be understood, can be known by unlocking that foundation, that underbelly, the trauma. Oh, I don't know, just as an example, somebody could discover that their life sucks because they've been repeating a pattern as a codependent, and they have permeable boundaries, and they get taken advantage of by everyone, and they're not happy because of that, right? Well, understanding the foundation is important. Case in point, right? Um, but then going in and consciously thinking different, consciously feeling different, consciously being and doing differently. That's the trick right there. That's the reality of it. That's how this all works, and it's an incredible journey too, because one of the most important things that you can do is become aware of yourself in terms of personal evolution, in terms of personal change. That's just the way that it is, right? One of the most important things that you can do is become more aware of yourself. I remember, I think it was Jim Rohn. He's not around anymore, but I believe he was. It was either Jim Rohn or Bob Proctor, one of those two, or maybe it was both of them. Um, they were basically saying the greatest investment you'll ever make in your life is the investment in yourself. And the more aware you can become of yourself, the better your life will be, because the more aware you become of yourself, the more aware you become of the unconscious and subconscious um, program that's been running your entire life. Why do you do what you do? Do you actually want to do what you do? One of the most fascinating realizations for me over the past 10 years, this is real, this is absolutely real, um, is that I discovered that I was doing a fuck ton of things that I didn't actually want to do. And that was both within that 10-year period of discovering that and before that. But this is oftentimes what you know survival in childhood turns into, right? um and this actually goes into yesterday's video where I was talking about how to become more attractive, by letting go and everything, by focusing on yourself, by learning more about yourself and understanding what it is that you actually want. Are you actually doing what you want to do? That's the question to ask yourself. Like, legit, are you actually doing what you want to do? What are you doing? Why are you doing it? Are you doing what you want to do? Are you doing what other people want you to do? You know, becoming aware of your thoughts, your feelings, and your behaviors is absolutely essential to transforming your life. And that's just the reality of it. And then when you can become aware of the automatic program of the repetition compulsion from the traumatic childhood, because we all experienced some level of trauma in childhood, right? So a lot of us are actually just repeating patterns. I mean, we all are. Everyone's repeating patterns. Um, but the most important thing is to become aware of those patterns, right? Because you really can't change what you're not aware of. If you're not aware of your life, you can't change it. If you're not aware of whatever it is that's going on, you can't change it. And that's the truth.